Yeah, hey, Derek. So I guess you're sort of in a more unique situation than some other guys in the sense that quarterback is a lot of timing stuff with the receivers and all that, and having those 2 weeks off can sort of throw a wrench in things. Can you address, if you guys haven't skipped a beat as an offense, and then secondly, were you able to throw with guys during the shutdown, or was there some way that you could sort of mitigate all the issues that you guys were facing, just not being able to basically play football or practice football or work out as a team for those 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think for those 2 weeks it was tough. It was tough to get together because a lot of guys were quarantined here and there. You might have had one or two guys that were free, but as soon as we got cleared, we came back in the building. We kind of had like a week of just workouts, and after workouts, me and the receivers, tight ends, and running backs through every single day. So they kind of got back on the right foot, and then this week in practice has been good. I think it's been connected. I think over time, I started to get to know those guys. They started to get to know me, so everything is much easier, later in the year. So I think we didn't skip a beat.
Derek, we've got David Furones from the Sun Sentinel next. David, go ahead.
Hey, Derek. I know you still got a few games to play this season, but obviously you must have come to Miami thinking, okay, you got 1 year to showcase yourself, and then it's on to the NFL. But now with this pandemic not counting toward eligibility, have you thought at all about where your mind might be at in terms of that decision on whether you potentially coming back or not?
I haven't really sat down like my family and the coach didn't really talked about it, but I mean, obviously it's always in the back of my mind. But we got a lot of games left. We got 2 games left, so I'm focused on those 2 games. But I mean, it's always been a dream to play NFL. But it's playing the University of Miami is great as well. Like living in the city of Miami, I don't think it's probably one of the best universities in the country, so you can't beat it. But I'm focused on these next 2 games.
Derek, we've got Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Derek. First of all, what have these 2.5 weeks, I guess, or more than that, been like emotionally? First, you had your team COVID quarantine, then you had 3 games rescheduled, then you had one of them change, replaced with Duke. What's everything been like for you?
Man, it's been super slow, So I'm just excited to get back. Before Wake Forest game got canceled, because lastly myself and everybody was focused on Wake Forest. But now we're playing Duke. We're focusing on Duke right now. I'm just excited to be back. I'm just missing those 2 weeks. It makes you really think about football and how much you love football. I mean, I would do anything to play a college football game, man. And I'm just really, really excited to get back out there on this Saturday.
And the other thing is, I asked Jalen this: how significant would it be to win these last 2 or 3 games and get to a New Year's Six bowl? Because you're on track right now, knowing everything you guys have been through. What would that be like?
Man, it'll be huge. Just finishing the season the right way. That's all we talk about as a team. Just finishing the right way. Taking it one game at a time. But we got to start with Duke. So this Saturday is a big game for us. We got to go on the road, play Duke. So that's the first step to everything else. We got to just focus on this game.
Thanks.
Derek, we've got 2 more for you. We're going to go to David Lake from Inside the U. David, go ahead.
Hey, Derek, I was wondering, obviously you came to Miami, you made it clear you wanted to test yourself against Power 5 competition on a regular basis. I'm wondering, when you look at this season, I know it's not finished yet, you still got a couple games, but how do you feel like your year here has developed you most, considering that you are playing primarily against Power 5 competition? What are you most proud of that you've developed in your game this year?
Yeah, I think it's been a challenging year as far as just like developing, but I think the game has slowed down for me. Just going through all my reads, trying to make the right play every time. Taking what's there, not turning the ball over. Just everything, especially it's coming to a new team. It's trying to put wins together, trying to be a leader for this team. I think I grew in that area, especially being a leader. I think that's the most area I grew in. I'm still trying to keep going and to get better as far as football-wise every single game, because at the same time, it's never enough, I'm my hardest critic, so if I have a good game, it's always stuff I could have done better. If I have a bad game, it's out from coming to the building and try to correct it. So I'm still working on all that.
Awesome. Derek, last one for you is from – I'm sorry. We got 2 more. We got Tom D'Angelo from the Palm Beach Post. Tom, go ahead.
Thanks, Cam. Hey, Derek. Manny said several times this is a year of adjusting, and you come in today, and then you come in tomorrow, and everything could be upside down from what it was today. Last 2 weeks have been nothing. That's been the epitome of that. And you think you're playing Wake, now you're playing Duke. when all this has happened in a normal year, I mean, you know, if you've part of the change in a normal year, it's a huge deal. Was it just like water off the bat? I mean, did all this kind of stuff happen? Was just, okay, now we're playing someone different, we'll just move on. And have you kind of adjusted to learning how to adjust?
Yeah, no doubt. This year, especially since the start of 2020, it's been crazy. So I think just the whole year in general, you gotta learn how to adjust. I mean, it might be something one day, the next day something totally different. I think our coaching staff and everybody in the building does a great job of keeping us on track. Like I said, I was watching film on Wake Forest for 2 or 3 days, and me and Coach Lashley was texting back and forth of what we like, what we see, and now Wake Forest getting get counted. So now you got to focus on Duke. You know, you got to have a whole new game plan. They run a totally different scheme, different personnel. So you got to just focus on that day. You know, today, like I came out here and I tried to focus on this practice. Then tomorrow, just focus on whatever is next. So you got to just keep going like that.
And if I could, one more. Yesterday, a bunch of changes were made by the ACC, and basically what it did when it boils down, it kind of gave you guys one less chance of getting, if you take care of your business, getting into the ACC championship game because they took one game away from Clemson. Did that mean anything to you? When you looked at it, did you look at it and say, oh, you know, what are they doing to us, or just move on? How did you kind of react when you saw those changes?
I mean, obviously, I think a lot of guys on the team would like to have a chance to play in a championship game. But like I said, it is what it is. I mean, it's 2020. We can only control the things we can control. So we got to focus on Duke and then focus on North Carolina next week. So we've taken it 1 week at a time, and whatever we control, that's what we got to focus on.
Thank you.
Awesome. Last one for you, Derek, is Chris Stock from Inside the U. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, Derek, just curious on your impressions of Navon Donaldson. He's been out there. Just your impressions, what you think of him as a player. What have you seen?
He's a great player. I heard a lot about him when I first got here. I knew he was on a race right this year, but just having him in practice in the last couple of weeks and dressing up for games and as kind of like an emergency guy, I mean, you can tell he's a really good player. He's a really big guy. He eats up a lot of space. He's smart. He knows his technique. He knows exactly what to do. He knows his strengths. So I think he's a really good player at the guard position. Looking forward to playing with him.
Great. Derek, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today. Good luck the rest of the week in practice.